Good morning, world. A common theme or a common complaint of people with ADHD is that feeling of being overwhelmed. And they experience that before they get to using a calendar and sometimes even after using a calendar because there's always so much to do. And that's why today we're talking about 5 ADHD management tips for avoiding that overwhelming feeling. First is to keep a calendar and put everything on that calendar. Everything, including picking up the children, date night with your spouse, that book you need to read, those articles you need to read, whatever it is that you have to do, anything that you have to be physically or actually just present for, anything that you have to participate in, that should be in your calendar because it lets you know where you are going to be, what time you have available to you. And that, of course, helps with number 2, which is check your calendar before you accept any request or any invitation. A calendar tells you how much time you have, what time you have available to you, and how you're using your time. So when you get a request, when you get an invitation, check your calendar to make sure that you actually do have the time available to dedicate to whatever that request is going to be, or to take part in whatever you have been invited to. 3, focus on progress and don't dwell on setbacks. Especially at the very beginning when you're getting started, setbacks do happen. It's important to make sure that you're focusing on how well you are doing instead of how or the places where you've experienced setbacks. Often what I'll find is that someone will be doing well for 2 or 3 days and then they have one setback. Now they spend the next hour dwelling on that setback, which of course means that they're even falling further behind on other things on their calendar. So instead of focusing on setbacks, focus on the things that you're doing well because you have so many more opportunities ahead of you to continue doing even better. 4, stop trying to overcompensate. That's another thing that I find to be very common where people attempt to make up for the places that they've experienced setbacks. If you missed a deadline, now you agree or volunteer to do 3 more things that you don't have time to do. And because of when you start accepting or putting too much on your calendar, trying to overcompensate for places where you may have missed, you create more opportunities for you to experience setbacks. If you have 2 hours and then you agree to do a 3-hour thing, now that this is another opportunity for you to not follow through, for you to not get done what you agreed to do, and of course, feel even worse about it because you were trying to make up for something to begin with. Finally, learn, practice, and get very comfortable with saying no. No is a beautiful word. It is a wonderful word. It is how we keep our calendars from filling up with things that we don't want to do, things that do not help us, and things that we, like I said, don't want to do. Get used to saying no. If you don't have the time, if you don't want to, for whatever reason, if you need to say no, get comfortable saying no because until you learn to say no, there's always going to be more, there are always all these other opportunities for your calendar to be filled with things that really do not matter, things that are just going to serve the only purpose they'll serve is overwhelming you even more. So learn, practice, and get very comfortable saying no. Quick recap. 1, keep a calendar and put everything on it. 2, check your calendar before accepting any requests or accepting any invitations. 3, focus on your progress and stop dwelling on these setbacks. 4, stop trying to overcompensate for stuff because no matter how many more things you do, you're never gonna undo the one thing you did not do. And overcompensating gives you more opportunities to experience setbacks. And finally, learn, practice, and get very comfortable saying no because that's how you keep your calendar from overfilling. And if you're dealing with stuff that's too much and if you need a little help, there is plenty of help out there. Please do not be afraid to reach out to someone. And yep, that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.